There are problems in Canada that can be solved by immigration, but there are other problems that are exacerbated. Obviously, the housing situation is a topic that comes to mind. To blame the housing crisis on immigration is looking for a simple solution to a complex problem, but there is something to look at when it comes to the housing situation. But because the simple topic of immigration gets people so fired up in certain cases, what seems to happen is you have a lot of quote unquote experts talking about immigration and talking about immigrants. My preference is to talk with immigrants, to have conversations with the people who are currently going through the immigration process or have recently come out on the other side of the immigration process, or maybe not recently, but they weren't born in Canada and at one point in time came to this country, having conversations with them about what they did for Christmas or what they're going to do for their summer vacation, just to talk to them, find out how they feel about Canada, how their life is going, how they're contributing to Canada, or how they miss their home. Just getting to know the people that we're talking about goes a lot further than just talking about them.
Been some years ago since I left my island to go to the mainland, like the old folks would say. And I summer day, don't then when we laughed with the old fishermen, and they cursed when the fire golden, and then they made up been more than a long, long time since I held you and called you mine. We waited for the sun to shine on a day.
My name is Mandip Garcha. I'm from Italy. My parents are from India, from a lower region called Punjab. They moved to Italy a long time ago. I was born and raised there, so you can call me Italian, you can call me Indian. And when I was 18, I moved here, so I'm also, a Newfoundland. You can pretty much call me from everywhere. It was July 13, 2014. Landed here. St. John's, Newfoundland. I have no idea this place existed, first of all. I think a lot of people that live in Canada don't know about Newfoundland. I hear about it all the time. So it was a really cool experience when I first got here. This was my first time in Canada. So when I got here, I seen the place, I was like, okay, this is a really cool place. It was July, so it was, summertime. But when I got here, I was still wearing a jacket. I was like, it's kind of cold here, man. And it was still kind of cool because I seen a lot of green here and beautiful place. The first summer I was here, I remember going to maybe it was Topsail Beach or something. I got in the water and it was freezing cold. And I think it was August too. I remember it being so freezing cold and I got out very quickly. And that was pretty crazy. I was like, okay, first time kind of getting to know how it is. And I learned that pretty quickly, that I shouldn't get in the water, not in the ocean anyway, because it's freezing. It doesn't warm up enough.
It was in May 28 or 27, 2016. We're gonna live in St. John's, Newfoundland. I was quite scared because I never heard about it, right? So I searched some places about Newfoundland, about the histories, and I wasn't interested because I never been in a cold country, because I love snow and I really want to come here and see the snow. So my first impression when I landed, I was like, wow, so fresh, so clean, and the house is so beautiful, different. I felt like I'm in a movie. Then the first time I saw snow, I was playing and around. Was really good impression. And the people here, they were really friendly. They came to me asking, "Where are you from?" I say Angola. Wow, Angola. Where is Angola? Many people doesn't know where is Angola. Then I was like, wow, I'm here. Would you like St. John's? I say, I love St. John's. It's a really cool city. I'm happy to be here. That's why I building my business and I won't leave here. I won't stay here. Come here, come visit us. You will love these magical places. You will love it. But that's it. This is the magic of Newfoundland. You have a lot of things to see, a lot of things to do. I love go to Signal Hill sometimes. Go for walking. It's really good. So that's it. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy, really happy.
Hi everybody, my name is Eldin. I was born in a country that no longer exists. It used to be called Yugoslavia, now it's called former Yugoslavia. It's split up into so many different regions. Unfortunately, we had a war that was economically motivated, more so than anything else. So many people made money, profited from the war, and people who didn't make money ended up leaving the country and trying to find themselves somewhere else. I was lucky enough to be granted a political refugee here in Newfoundland and Labrador, and I arrived here in 1996. I was like 21 years old. I remember when I was in the Canadian Embassy in Belgrade and they told me, "You're going to St. John's, Newfoundland." I said, fine. So I tried to find St. John's, Newfoundland on the map of Canada and I couldn't. It was just nowhere to be found. So I went back to the lady working there and I asked her, like, where is this place? And she said, like, it's a big island on the east coast. So I went to the map and I looked at this beautiful island, and the first thing that came to my mind was like beaches, Bahamas, Bermudas. It was like, wow, this is gonna be amazing. Yeah, I wanna go there, I don't wanna go to Toronto or like something like that, because I had assumed it was gonna be like a, awesome place. And it is an awesome place, but I had no idea that there was like, a cold ocean and a warm ocean or a hot ocean. I guess I didn't pay attention in school. I arrived here, it was like July, August or something like that, July I think. And I was greeted by some friends from the Association for New Canadians who have become my lifelong friends. To this day we are friends. And they told me, you have arrived at the most beautiful day, it's sunny outside, it's beautiful. We left the airport and I froze. I was like, is this the best day ever? So there will be no swimming in the ocean. She said, like, no. Remember the Titanic and that's what happened here, like just 300 kilometers. Like, then I realized, wow, there's a cold ocean. Not every beach is a hot one.
The moment I landed, I fell in love with the place. I'm a Newfoundlander by choice. Newfoundland is an incredible place to be. It's got the most kindest people, and like the communities are so caring, so inclusive, and it just makes you feel like you're at home. When I say I'm a Newfoundlander by choice, I really mean that. I feel like this is my home. Pretty much all my life, I've been a big city girl. So when I moved to Newfoundland, I knew Newfoundland is a smaller community, and that's one of the things myself I really liked about it. When you bring in a smaller community, I find that the people and the communities are a lot kinder. There's like more heart, there's more love going around, and that's the thing I really like about Newfoundland and about Montpearl and St. John's. The people are just so nice. It gives you a chance to really enjoy your day, because really you get to know the people around you and you get to make those meaningful connections. I just love the community and the feel of it. Like, there aren't words to describe the way it makes me feel like home. I absolutely love that part about Newfoundland, about the community that we live in. You have to feel it to know it, and I feel completely at home, completely at peace where we are.
I really feel at home here. So yes, I am a Newfoundlander, and all the people I have met who had come here for X reason, studies, work, they also feel like Newfoundlanders now. It is true. We feel at home. I absolutely love Newfoundland. For me, the nature and the landscape is just breathtaking. That's one of the first things that I would say made me stay here. When I arrived in 2018, there was one time just before the semester started, I went up Signal Hill, and it was beautiful. I saw the whole city, and there was not a cloud in the sky, and it was so fresh, and I absolutely loved that memory, and I keep not forgetting that, and I felt so, I don't know, accepted by the city, because the harbor is like this weird semicircle, so I almost thought that that the harbor was hugging me. I remember that moment that I thought to myself, I think I'm gonna stay here, and now I cannot go back. Oh no. Yeah, Newfoundlanders are such a warm people. I felt immediately welcomed. And obviously, as a musician, I enjoy the music scene here. I felt that I kind of arrived into my place, because every single time that I wanted to go out, there were many things to do, many things to hear. Also because of my job, I get to meet a lot of musicians, hear a lot of music. That's just the best part of Newfoundland for me. It's such a, I don't know, musical city. You can always hear something, and I love the sea as well, so everything combines together, the nature and the music, and also like the lovely people that I have met here. Newfoundland it's just like a warm hug every single time that I go out. I feel welcomed.
Obviously, my particular interest is on the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. When people think of immigration to Canada, Newfoundland is not usually the first place that people think of. The most recent data that's widely available regarding permanent residents that have come to Canada, if you look at it, it's from 2021 to 2022, a period of time that overlaps both years. And literally 1 week of permanent residents settling into the city of Toronto, not the province of Ontario, but the city of Toronto, is greater than the yearly figure for the number of permanent residents that have come to Newfoundland. That's okay. That's just how it is. That's why I talk about it. There's not a lot of people talking about Newfoundland and immigration to Newfoundland in particular in the way that I'm trying to talk about it. In this particular video, I'm speaking with a number of people that have moved to Canada and chose Newfoundland. They're going to tell you their stories about their first impressions on Newfoundland. Lighthearted, that's the point. Just getting to know the people that are moving to Newfoundland as people, not as figures, not as immigrants, but as humans.
Outside of my clothing brand, which is known as NO Swaf, I now have a technician job in a lab at the university. And then right after that, then I jump on over and then I go either to the hotel or to the restaurant. I serve food, I make drinks, and I serve big smiles all day long. Yeah. Newfoundland has been a great time. It's been very cold, but it's been a great time though. I mean, like I'm grateful. Like I've met like amazing people around here. I've learned very great lessons, and I've grown a whole lot academically. I was able to finally graduate with behavioral neuroscience in Newfoundland. I was able to move away from Vancouver and come over here and start taking care of myself with the help of my parents and family as well. This was a growing experience for me and a whole lot of maturity that came with it. I've really loved it around here. I've met a lot of amazing people, and they have been nothing but very supportive of everything that I do, which means a lot to me, because when I first moved here, there was a lot of like anxieties about like, this is a small city. I've never been there before. How is this all going to work out? But no, I found I was a very good fit around here. There's a whole lot of strangers that are gonna be family, a lot of strangers that are gonna be friends. Like everyone likes to go with the mentality of having haters or that type of thing. But there's a lot more people rooting for you. You know, give it time. Nothing is going to be easy. It's not always a smooth road, but most of the times it's very rewarding.
I found St. John's super comfortable. It's a very safe place. People here always tell us that, hey, don't go to that place or around that location because it's not like very secure, or it's kind of hard to walk around there or something like that. But to be honest, the things in my country are worse, are not very good. So I can walk here like at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. alone, being a woman, and I feel safe, you know? Always things happen, but I really found St. John's as a very safe place.
I live in Accra, in Ghana, the capital city, which is like over 3 million population, so it's a big city. I'm from Kumasi, the second largest city. So when I was in Toronto, it wasn't like overwhelming because I know that like big city life. And moving from Toronto to St. John's, the first impression was like, oh, this is a village. It's like nothing's happening here. And to make matters worse for me was the weather. I came on the 3rd of January and we had a snowstorm here. So after going through school registration, and then I decided to go and have my driver's license changed from Ontario to Newfoundland. I checked the weather, it was -9. And you know, in Toronto, -9 is a bit like not too crazy. So I had the same impression. I thought, oh, it's just cool. So I wore my sneakers, light jacket, and then I hit the road. I waited for the bus for a good 30 minutes. The bus wasn't showing. Then I started feeling so cold, my feet, everything. I couldn't even feel my toe. So I said, man, I'm at the wrong place. I don't think I'll survive this. I have to rethink and decide really quick. But like after I had that experience, I managed to make my way to motor registration, got my license, and coming back, it was the same thing. I had to wait by the roadside, which was terrible. I was so cold. There wasn't any shield. I was just by like a light pole waiting for the bus. So it was like such a bad experience. But something happened there, and up to now, in fact, every time that I see this guy, I say thank you to him. There was one guy from Nigeria, his name is Israel. He was just driving by and saw me shaking like I was just about dropping. And then this guy stopped and gave me a ride from motor registration to campus. And in fact, that gesture still resonate with me. I remember that vividly every day. My life in Toronto, you hardly get anything like that. Nobody stops to say hello, or like it's just go, go, go. So that gesture was something that touched me, something good that I can say about Newfoundland. Aside the weather, which was tempting to go back, that experience actually motivated me to just be here as well. Yeah.
If you're interested in more technical aspects of the immigration process in Canada, like explanations of the law and different pathways that you can pursue to come to Canada, I do have another YouTube channel that gets more technical. I have that linked in the description below. Go visit that if you're interested. I keep things a little different on this channel and just tell stories about Newfoundland, visiting Newfoundland, moving to Newfoundland, things like that. There are a lot of voices out there having conversations about immigration in Canada, immigrants to Canada. But instead of having conversations about these people, let's have conversations with these people. Let's learn who they are. Let's learn what they do. Let's learn what drew them to Canada, and in particular, to Newfoundland and Labrador. What were the first impressions? How did they feel when they stepped off the plane or got off the ferry and arrived in this province?
When I first came here and I started exploring St. John's, I remember, and it's still that way. I remember just, walking around town and everybody was so friendly and so welcoming. And this is the first time I ever felt so welcome in a country. I never felt that way when I was back in Italy. No offense, but it was just different. And I remember I haven't just been in St. John's. I got to go to Calgary for about a season. I spent almost a year in Ontario, in Toronto, and it was just not the same because I was trying to explore different places in Canada and see if I like it or not. No offense, again, no offense to anybody, but I didn't feel as welcome, and I just felt like Calgary and Toronto, they're just crazy city. Everybody's so in their own mind and in their own things. They just don't want to have conversation with anybody, really, any strangers. And that's what kind of made me feel a bit weird being there, because it was just like, that's not what I felt when I first came here, and that's why I thought about settling here in St. John's in Newfoundland.
I think it's the hospitality, it's that kind of openness that really took me in. Fast forward, I learned English. Took me a while, obviously. I remember my first visit, the same person who greeted me at the airport took me to her community to Renews. And a friend of myself and myself went to a local, what was it, like some kind of Legion club or something like that. There was a pool table, and we were kind of happy because we learned English. We had been there here for about a year. So we went into this pool hall in Renews and tried to talk to the lady working at the bar, how to operate the pool table. So we went in we would like to play pool, what do we need? And she went you need a loony. We had no idea what she was saying. It was so fast. It was just half of the words were missing. We're like, my God, we're never gonna learn to speak here. But again, it's that hospitality that even though we might not be able to understand each other really well, there's no pretenses. I love that about the place. There's just no pretenses. It is what it is in the moment.
When I went to school, everybody that sees you, you don't know them from nowhere, but they are open to chat. They ask you how you doing, how's the weather. That's the open line. Everybody asks you how's the weather and all that. So in fact, it was something even at the early stages I was a bit worried. So I had to ask my roommate that, bro, I find this so weird. Why is everybody smiling at you? It's a bit fake, right? Because I wasn't used to that. But over time, I realized that's typical Newfoundland life, St. John's in particular. I haven't experienced much outside St. John's, but I guess that's the culture here. People are receiving, very accepting, and easy to get along with.
A lot of people, when they start working, in their 20s, in their 30s, they start sticking to one job, and they might enjoy it, but they might not. I don't know exactly what I still want to do. I just want to do what I really enjoy doing. But I'm planning on doing that here because I just love living here.